Hi everyone, my name is Ban Shoukeir. I'm from Bangor High School, and today I will be speaking about my experience with racism. So, مرحبا, أنا اسمي بان. Hello, my name is Ban. أنا خلقت بنيويورك وأهلي خلقوا بلبنان. I was born in New York and my parents were born in Lebanon. Arabic كان الأول لغة لإلي. Arabic was my first language. When you look at me, you'll notice I'm darker than some. My hair is as dark as the night sky, my skin is painted in a rich caramel color, and my larger facial features emphasize my character. I was raised by my Lebanese parents, immigrants from the Middle East. I'm Muslim. I speak Arabic. I fast during the holy month of Ramadan, but note that I don't wear a hijab. It's optional. At the same time, I'm an honors student. I'm part of my civil rights team at school. I sing and write to share my voice, and today I'm sharing it with all of you. I hope you'll listen. I'm a Muslim American, bathed in my Lebanese culture, and accented with my American mannerisms. I believe in God. I believe in equality. I believe in peace. I believe in Islam. In 5th grade, I was called a terrorist by my classmates. I laughed along with them because I didn't know what they meant. The 10-year-old girl they called a terrorist would never cause harm to anybody. I went home and I questioned my identity and who I was, because at 10 years old you barely know who you are, and people were already shaping who I was for me. I was lost, I was confused, and I didn't know what to believe. I knew I was a Muslim, and I believed that God existed, but my classmates didn't seem to understand that I was just as human as they were, and my beliefs weren't so different from theirs. Our morals were still the same, yet they labeled me as someone with none. In 7th grade, I transferred to a Catholic school here in Maine. Transferring to a school is scary for any teenage girl, but for me, it wasn't because I was just a new girl. I was the new Muslim girl that would be asked several questions about my religion. I would be asked why 9/11 happened. I would feel alone in our weekly masses because I didn't take communion, and I didn't know what church was really like. I would be asked to give a presentation about my religion, and my first sentence would be, Muslims are not terrorists. From the age of 10, I've had to defend myself because of my religion. The amount of times I've had to defend my faith is more than anybody ever would, because I'm not only sick of myself being labeled, I'm sick of everyone else who has to go through what I go through every day. It's not right. The media has thrown the people of the Islamic faith under the bus over and over, to the point where I'm sometimes scared to let my friends know I'm a Muslim. Because I know deep down the first thing that will come to some is that Muslims are horrible people, and it's my worst fear to be viewed as a horrible person. I am not what the media portrays me to be. Islam is not what the media portrays it to be. Allahu Akbar is not a chant for terrorism. The actual translation is God is great. And because God is great and good, God is against terrorism. I'm against terrorism. True believers of the Islamic faith are against terrorism. Anybody who believes in taking the life of another goes against any faith, whether it be Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, or Hinduism. It goes against being a good person. So again, مرحبا, أنا اسمي بان. Hello, my name is Ban. أنا مسلم أمريكي. I'm an American Muslim. أنا بشر. I'm human. أنا مثلكم. I'm just like you. Thank you.
Sister figure in my life had almost completed her elementary school experience when a boy locked her in a storage room and attacked her so violently she physically bled. A longtime family friend had recently entered her teenage years when her ex-boyfriend ignored her nose and left her there unable to move. We are not your perfect victims. Our skirts were not too short, our bloodstreams weren't flowing with alcohol, and yet we were forced to live through our metaphorical deaths and find ways to self-resurrect after. We are your real victims standing next to you right now as survivors. But never has anyone been more ashamed to claim the title survivor. And when we look around our classrooms, we cannot help but see the 3 girls and 1 boy in every middle school homeroom, the 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men who'll be assaulted during their college years, the ridiculously high number of parents who may one day have to receive that phone call from their child if something doesn't change. I can no longer count the number of times certain categories of people have been given safety instructions to not get raped, instead of teaching every child growing up the meaning of consent. Because as Robin Thicke sang in the summer of 2013, there seem to be blurred lines. But this is simply not the case. Our educational systems are failing if we truly have people growing up who believe that the lines of consent are blurred. If they say no, stop. If they say maybe, stop. If they are drunk or high or in any way incapable of making choices they would make when sober, stop. Consent is yes. Consent is yes without harassment or threats. Consent is yes and only yes. Rape is rape and only rape. Rape is not sex without consent, because that would no longer be sex, that it would be simply rape. As human beings, we tend to disassociate and say, oh, I won't get raped, that won't be me, but no amount of I'll be safe can prevent another person from attacking you, and we see it every day, even when we try not to. I look around my classes and see the girls terrified to attend their dream schools because of the high assault rates, 1 in 5. Imagine getting the acceptance letter and having it end with, oh, by the way, we can almost guarantee that either you or one of your friends will be raped during your time here. No child, no person should have to have this fear, and yet we see it all around us because rapists do not discriminate, not by age, gender, race, not by anything. And in the year 2016, it is time that we end this problem. Let's teach our rapists not to rape instead of teaching victims to stay safe. Let's teach consent throughout life so that no one must face the same experiences we have. Let's start supporting our survivors instead of asking them why they didn't fight back, why they didn't yell louder, why they didn't yell. Let's take the pledge at itsonus.org to recognize and identify sexual assault, to intervene in situations where consent has not and cannot been given, and to create an environment in which sexual assault is unacceptable and survivors are supported. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Margo Roberts, and this is a poem on my experience in viewing environmental racism in a community in Boston. Geography lesson. There is pain in a parking lot. Under the smooth pebbling of asphalt and yellow lines lies an unmarked grave of asbestos. A foamy mountain, gray and mottled with fiber, growing up and out, melting under Air Jordans and palms sticky with Elmer's glue. They ignore the itchy, swollen lump in the middle of Dudley Square, next to the Candyland houses and the eco-friendly condos with glass doors and drawn shades. The mushy catskill trickles into the gutter, creeps up the steps and into the mailbox, laughing IRS eviction notice. Paper crumbles like ash. Ash like the black exhaust that sighs out of the school bus, and into the cracks of the windows of the homes that are at the wrong place at the wrong time. The city's apathy sticks to the lungs, wraps itself into a lump of coal that sits at the bottom of the throat, humming to the Caterpillar D9L bulldozer ripping down the mom and pop bodega next door. And the park you need permission to sit in, next to the police station that is 2 miles away from the next police station, is a gravestone. Grass grows over the knife that was left in Roxbury's dirt, rust from 2004 bleeding into pavement, feeding the spirit of the community garden on the next block. A city block on fire, slowly collapsing into itself as a new Dunkin' Donuts appears on the corner. Smoke suffocates,
and fire destroys, but out of the suit shoots an ashy hand, reaching for sun and grappling hooks and apartment keys, 5 fingers gripping loose soil and not letting go. Thank you.